Good day to all the AVIAPRENEURS. This is Adnan Baranbo, and this is a new episode of AVIAPRENEURS podcast. In today's episode, we are going to discuss a topic which is important for all of us in the aviation industry: how to collect debts from all these debtors that are giving a hard time for everyone, delaying payments or not paying at all. Bad debts is very bad for the industry. And there is a very visionary aviapreneur who's joining me today, who's trying to solve that problem. Good day, Mr. Artem Degtiarov. Thank you for joining me today.
Hello, Adnan. Thank you for having me.
So Artem is an aviapreneur from Ukraine. He's the founder and the chief executive officer of Blacklist.Aero. Blacklist.Aero is a registrar for all these companies that default in their payments toward their vendors and suppliers. Artem came up with Blacklist.Aero last year, and the company made a lot of progress and helped so many suppliers, operators and service providers collect their debts. Earlier in his career, Artem was in charge of business development for big trip support companies like JetX and the Click Aviation Network, besides Pro Fuel. So Artem, a registrar for the defaulters in settling their debt in the aviation industry. This is something that so many people discussed in the past, but nobody took the initiative to make it a reality. What made you establish Blacklist.Aero?
I created Blacklist.Aero because of desperation. Not only my own desperation, but desperation of big part of the aviation market. Over the last 10 years, I have worked for two major aviation service providers. You, Adnan, know the specific of this business like no one else. Every day, including weekends, holidays, and even on vacation, you're in the circular flow of flights of different operators who needs help. Overflight, landing permits, handling fuel, catering arrangements, hotel accommodation, supervision on apron, large number of services that need to be organized, paid for, coordinated. All this is done by people who put their whole soul into the work. It's a 24/7 job. And then, when after all of this, a client who literally took out the soul from the people in your company in order to get lower prices than other clients, who wanted everything to be done for him faster than for other clients, and so on, so on. And after all the wishes of the client are fulfilled and the flight successfully departed, this client simply disappears and ignores all the invoices, reminders, requests for payment. Painfully familiar situation for many. But it's still half the trouble. The real desperation is the fact that going to court as a rule doesn't bring any positive result. Firstly, the courts can consider cases for more than 2 years, up to 3 years. Secondly, even when you get a court decision and think that you have defeated your defaulter, this is an illusion. I have repeatedly come across cases when a defaulter didn't comply with court decision for years. When such situation repeated more than once or twice, when I talked to my colleagues from other companies and began to realize the scale of the problem, when I saw that consequences it leads to within different companies that find themselves in such situation, then I had the idea of the global aviation register of defaulter companies and named it Blacklist Aero as an effective tool of self-regulation of the market without court processes and judges, and as convenient and relevant additional tool for compliance, governance, and risk managers in aviation.
What you are doing is very interesting because, as you mentioned, when someone goes to court, yes, they might get a judgment at the end, but it's going to take a lot of time. And when you go to court, you have to spend huge amounts of money. And they say when you go to court to collect debt, you are going to put good money chasing bad money. So it doesn't always work. At the same time, fighting bad debt is very important because bad debt affects everyone in the industry. When someone doesn't get paid by anyone, by a client, then this service provider will stop giving credit for everyone. So the credibility in the industry, and you wrote an article about this recently on LinkedIn, that how if one defaulted and their debts, they are not only harming harming one creditor, they are harming the whole industry. And I really agree with you on that. But Artem, how is your experience in real life? Did service provider actually use the services of Blacklist Aero? And did you manage to actually collect some of the debts from the defaulters?
The Blacklist Aero register is a symbiosis of the credit history bureau, mass media, and the collection agency. The register allows for solving two problems. For pro account user, register provides an opportunity to create a case in relation to its defaulter. In fact, by creating a case in the Blacklist Aero register, you're making a public statement for all participants in the aviation market. At the same time, the register gives a guarantee to other market participants that the company or individual that has been granted the right to make a statement regarding its defaulter, it's a real member of the aviation market. In order to open a pro account, a company or an individual aviation professional must provide documents confirming their professional status in the aviation market. We provide internal compliance procedure, and only after we are sure that we are dealing not with a fake company or person, but with a real participant in the aviation market, we activate pro account. Thus, no one can make a statement incognito or from a fake account. After the pro account user, aka claimant, has created a case, this case is not published automatically, but goes through 10 days verification and mediation period. During this period, we contact the company in respect to which the case was created, request its official position, which we undertake to publish together with the case. We also suggest such company to contact the claimant directly and resolve the issue before publishing the case. If we receive a case has been resolved notification from the claimant before the end of mediation period, the case is not published in the registry. If the defaulter ignores our notification, refuse to communicate with its creditor, then after the mediation period expires, we publish the case and proceed to public and paralegal actions Firstly, we try to inform as many aviation market participants as possible about the new defaulter by publishing a small part of the information from the case in the public domain. Secondly, our operations team is tracking defaulters' activity, flights, other operations. After that, we contact the specific contractors of our defaulter, inform them about the case in Blacklist Aero, and urge them not to cooperate with this defaulter company. We cannot force anyone to do or not to do something, but we can convey information that has become public and call on aviation market participants to show professional solidarity. Because today it's someone else's problem, and tomorrow your own company may have the same problem. These are general principles, but each defaulter has its own story and its own dark secrets. It's vulnerabilities. We find these vulnerabilities and draw public attention to them. And it works very efficiently. As it turned out, all sorts of swindlers are much more afraid of publicity than lawsuits from their creditors, because it has not only the reputation of defaulter, but also strains their wallets. Because after publishing information in the Blacklist Aero register, other companies also put them on their conditional blacklist or change them term of cooperation. They refusing credit conditions, transfer them to full prepayment, raise prices for such companies, laying in the price new risks. The second tax, the Blacklist Aero, solves in the information necessary for compliance, governance and credit risk managers. To check their current or potential counterparties, we have created standard premium and premium corporate account. Futures of premium and premium corporate accounts are unique service called tracking list. It allows premium and premium corporate accounts subscribers to create their own tracking list and add their own existing and potential counterparties to track their status on the Blacklist Aero. If someone has created a case regarding the company from your own tracking list in the Blacklist Aero, you will immediately receive email notification. Thus, you do not need to check the same client all the time, every week, every month.
So Blacklist Aero is planned to be a complete credit management system, not only a debt collection company or provider. It will be a system where companies can use to check status of their creditors, to get notification about anything that affect the credibility of the debtors, and to collect their debts when the debtors are not actually paying them. But do you have success stories, without mentioning names of companies? Do you have success stories of big amounts of debts collected by Blacklist or Aero?
By far, the hardest part was convincing the first potential claimants to create a case for their defaulters. And the point was not that it was difficult for them to believe in us, in our effectiveness, or they were afraid of legal actions on the part of the defaulters. The main problem was that the representatives of the companies were ashamed to admit that someone could win them around their finger, take advantage of their trust. It was better for them not to talking about it. It's about some kind of bad disease. I consider our main victory that we have already been able to change the world view of the aviation market participants. Now they are not afraid and not ashamed to loudly declare their debtors. Now it has become the norm. No one is ashamed, no one is afraid. Recently the register is filing with new cases rather dynamically. I understand that when the number of cases reaches 100, it can already be called the Wikipedia of defaulter in aviation. And judging by the current dynamics, we will achieve this amount in the next 3-4 months. It's important to understand that we are talking about live cases, about debts that are currently on the market. Each defaulter, it's information about someone's lost money and the money that other companies can still lose without receiving information about this or that defaulter in time. Each case is a kind of red flag for other market participants. This is exactly the part of the information necessary for compliance risk managers, which they always flag. As for the amount of money returned, today it has already exceeded $500,000.
Wow.
And this process continues.
All the best.
Permanently.
I really appreciate what you're doing to the industry. But Artem, aren't you afraid? I mean, did you study the legal consequences of what you are doing? Some of the debtors you might be after might have very big and deep pockets and might not surrender. And they might task their lawyers to go after you for considering your actions falling as crimes against their publicity, privacy, not complying with the law. What do you think of this? Aren't you afraid?
We periodically face two types of threats. Threats of legal nature and threats of physical violence.
Physical, wow.
This is, this is irregular practice of any mass media writing sensitive articles. As for the threats of legal action sent by so-called lawyers who are hired by some defaulters, most often there are just the threats. This is a kind of check if we back down, because the same lawyers are well aware that by filing a lawsuit, they will do a great favor to us by giving rise to high-profile materials and a very bad service to their defaulting clients. Because as I wrote early in one of my articles, any attempt on the part of defaulter to prevent the spread of information about their dishonesty will only result in their name being heard 100 times more often and 1,000 times more loudly. With regard to physical threats, look, guys, I'm speaking to you now from Kyiv, Ukraine. Thousands of my Ukrainians Ukrainian compatriots died
I'm sorry for
during
that.
these 9 months of war, and millions are forced to live under the constant threat of the use of nuclear weapons. Every day, missiles and attack drones
But
bomb Ukrainian civilian infrastructure.
I'm very sorry for this.
People die.
So if you're living under this environment, then physical threats from other nature will not pose any fear to you.
We continue to resist and we continue to live and work. Ukrainians do not know the kind of fear that paralyzes person. We continue to do that needs to be done at any given moment, not only to survive, but also to win. The urge and ability to resist any injustice, alienation. This is our mentality, our genetic code. It would be a shame to be afraid of the cheats of the aviation market, swindlers, living and fighting side by side with people like my compatriots, Ukrainian people.
Yeah. So I wish you all the best in this battle you're having. But can you explain to us the business model of Blacklist Aero? How are you going to make money? Did you reach a stage of generating income, profitability, where you can cover the cost and continue doing business?
First of all, I want to emphasize that for us, the trust of the aviation market participants come first, followed by the impact that we have on the market. Monetization in third place for us, and I would like to do so in the future. Blacklist Aero assumes two sources of monetization. We charge a case mediation fee from companies to which we help their money back from defaulters. It's important to clarify, we charge this case mediation fee only in case of refund to our client and only after case has been resolved notification from claimant to the registry. The second source of monetization is subscription to standard, premium, and premium corporate accounts. The difference in the cost of these subscriptions is due to the number of search queries per day or per month that the subscriber can perform. Premium and premium corporate subscribers also differ in the number of companies you can add to your tracking list. In the premium corporate subscription, the user has unlimited option both in terms of number of search queries per day or per month, and the number of companies that can be added to its own tracking list.
That's very interesting. And did you get any support or communication from any organization in the aviation industry willing to help Blacklist Aero in the mission you are going after? Are you planning to contact them if they don't contact you? Because it's very helpful to get their support to protect their members or to get their assistance in collecting the debts for your clients.
And today, talking about organizations, associations, talking about every aviation market participants, we would like to our initiative should unite the entire aviation market. This will be a really iconic step for everyone who has joined. The most important initiative is which we intend to address the participants of aviation market is called 3 Cases Declaration. We invite all companies, organizations, associations that support the idea of market self-regulation to voluntary join this declaration and undertake not to cooperate with any company in the aviation market in respect of which 3 or more cases have been created in the Blacklist Aero register by different claimants. I'm sure that if the owners of companies, which are often direct competitors, put aside competitive wars for a moment and think about what they can do to bring trust back to aviation, they will find that together they are force much more powerful. Sense of solidarity must return to the market. If you know, there used to be such a non-handshake principle among businessmen. And any businessman was afraid to become non-handshakeable. It's actually mean exclusion from the market. This decision was made collectively on the basis of clear and transparent principles. They simply stopped doing business with people who violated the basic principles of business. We propose to return these principles to the modern business environment.
So, Artem, you have big experience collecting debts in the aviation industry. Do you think other industries can benefit from your experience? And do you have any plans in the future to expand your registrar to cover other industries?
It's depend on trust. If there are people who can provide this idea and other participants who trust them, it should be done. Why not?
Great. So, Artem, speaking to you, it's clear to me that you're very determined, you have a strong will, and you're really entrepreneurial. You had an idea based on sufferance, and you left everything. You left your job, you left your career, and you decided to go all after, not afraid of any threats, legal or physical, believing in your idea, determined to make it a successful reality. This is truly entrepreneurial. So, what advice do you give the audience about what it takes to start a business based on a sufferance, on an idea, grow it, build it, and make it successful?
I have 3 advices to anyone who starts business. First, be honest. If you can be honest with everyone, be honest at least with yourself. This will help you to avoid illusions and achieve success. Second, always pay. Pay salaries. Yes. Pay bills. Over time, you will begin to enjoy the fact that you do not owe anything to anyone, and your reputation will begin to work for you. And third advice, if you have achieved some local success in your business, you have only 2 or 3 hours for euphoria. You don't have time for more. You need to think about further steps in your business and get to work.
Very valuable advice. Very valuable advice. Be honest and always pay on time. Thank you very much, Artem.
Yes.
I really appreciate your time. I wish you all the best and your great team. And I didn't ask you, I should ask you about the picture behind you. Why do you have a football stadium? Is it because World Cup is here, soon, near?
This picture, not for me, it's not only for me, but for my team. When you see on this field where you are.
Yes.
We feel us here, and all these people looking for us. All these people, it's our clients, our defaulters, and other aviation market participants. They're looking for to us, and it's unite. This picture is unite us.
I wish you all the best for that. I'm sure you will go with this unity and with this collective way of work and thinking. I'm sure you will achieve a lot of success. Thank you, Artem. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your interest. And thank you for sharing this valuable information about Blacklist Aero, your experience and your vision. I look forward to keeping in touch.
Thank you, Adnan. Thank you so much.
Thank you to all the aviapreneurs who joined us today. I look forward to seeing you again next week with another guest and another episode of Aviapreneurs podcast. Have a great day.